Burnie's Applebox here on the Applebox Network. I'm here with Mr. Gary Hyman.
Oh, it's me again.
It's you again. How you doing,
Good
buddy?
to see you, Burnie. Thanks
awesome.
for having me on.
Great. Gary is here because I know this guy will never stop talking.
Oh,
this
me?
You taught me everything I know,
That's
Gary.
true.
Thank
That's
you.
true.
Thank
Puppet
you.
on a string.
So we're never going to go down. We know that. Gary, great to see you, buddy. This week, wait a minute, because I always forget, never do it right. Let me introduce the guys. Let me introduce the guys. That's it. There they are. There they are.
We're here.
It's Tony and Sean. Sean Ryan, Tony Hope.
Yep. Hey, here's your weekly reminder. Don't forget to share the show. Share.
Thank you, Tony. Please share the show. Share the show with any group. Anybody, your best friends, share it. If you got one friend, share it with them.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Even if you have a half friend.
Yeah, even if the person you don't really like that well, go ahead and share that with them too. Yeah. And especially if you don't like him, maybe that's what you're getting back.
Isn't it? Don't you unclick the unfriend or something?
Unfriend.
You can unfriend somebody.
I
for
don't
about
do
an hour.
that, but yeah. So anyway, today what we're going to talk about, because this is so relevant to me this week, and has been for the last 3 or 4 weeks, time. Exactly how do you manage your time? And what happens when you can't manage your time? I think that's the thing I run into a lot. I start the day every day with a plan.
Yes.
What I'm going to do, how much I'm going to get done, what absolutely must be done, because there's that list too.
Absolutely.
And then I start getting hit, just this morning, a call. Hey, there's a light not working. Well, I got to get another light right out there.
Oh, yeah.
So I got to make those arrangements. I wasn't planning on that, but I get a light out there and make sure it happens.
Sure.
And so time management is so important to all of us. And these days, because I remember just comparing it to 10 years ago, I am in so much more demand. Not demand because I'm doing increased work, because that's about the same as it was 10 years ago. But it's just, look, emails on your phone all the time. You're getting social media. I get jobs over social media. I get jobs over text. I get jobs over emails. Phone calls come in. And I have noticed in the last week, when I was really under the gun, you know what I mean, time-wise, there was 1 or 2 that slipped through my fingers. And it wasn't that I didn't, how would I say that? It's not that I didn't respond.
Right.
I didn't check to make sure my response got there, which is important because it's another opportunity to talk to the client, to reassure them that you're taking care of everything. That hurt. That lost me some money. Yeah. So that was something.
Things have really changed, Burnie, in today's world. In the past, it was just a home line at the house or at your office.
Right.
And that's the only way the client can communicate with
you. If you weren't home.
Yeah, you never got the emergency. But today, email, text, phone call, skywriting.
Yes. No, you cannot escape.
You're gonna get found.
You cannot escape. Yes. And you know what? So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to get more into it. Sean's got some really good thoughts on this, and I want to get his input. But first, our good buddy Dave Donaldson from Grip Tips has just put up a new video with offset arms, and I talked to him just before the show. We're going to show that here in just a couple minutes. But he said, oh yeah, tell him, and he didn't know what our subject was. He goes, oh, that one, I did that a few weeks ago, and he goes, I had to do it 5 minutes at a time. I couldn't get off the phone. I had to go somewhere. So it was right in line with what we did. Tony, are we ready to show that? Awesome. Great. So this is Dave Donaldson, Grip Tips, and it's offset arms. Let's check it out.
Great.
This episode of Grip Tips has been brought to you by M Squared Studio, and if you'd like to help out the channel, you can visit my Patreon page. I'll leave a link in the description below. We're back. I'm Dave Donaldson. Welcome back to Grip Tips. Today we're going to talk about some offset arms. Offset arms are not complicated at all. They come in 2 sizes, junior and baby pin styles, and they are there to work basically like the reverse arm of a C-stand, where your objective is to just boom the light into a shot or over a wall or whatever you see fit for the purpose of hiding the risers of a stand. For instance, in this scene, I'd like to be able to just give Sean a backlight, but if I were to just use a traditional black kit stand, I might now have to fight with that being in the background of my shot. We had a similar situation in my C-stands episode in which I said that if you wanted to buy yourself some more room, you could easily borrow another arm from another C-stand just to double up the arms and then move the stand back more, eliminating the risers out of your scene. Now, depending on the type of light that you're going to be using, you're either going to grab a baby stand or a combo stand, and then you're going to place the offset arm on top of it and just tighten it down. Then make sure that one of the legs of the stand is pointing in the exact same direction as the offset arm, as the weight of that light is now going to work against that leg. You'll also want to bag your stand all the way around, as this will help counterweight the offset arm. After that, place the light of your choice on the arm and extend it to your desired length and begin rising the stand to the position you'd prefer, and then start tweaking from there. As you can see, after I drop in the 2351 template in post, the stand is non-existent in the scene and we get the edge that we want without using a C-stand because we're using the offset to hide the stand behind the wall and boom the light into our shot. This is a really great solution to free up another one of our C-stands so that we can use it for something more important like shaping the light. And additionally, these offset arms make it more possible to throw something heavier on the end, as it's not as thin as a C-stand arm. So basically, it's more rigid, which even may be more safer than any other alternative. When it comes to your Genie rental house needs, M² Studio is not only that, but they're also an insert stage located in Parsippany, New Jersey. Within the Manhattan zone and just 30 minutes from Midtown, the studio also provides discounted or free delivery rates for your production. If you're interested to see what they're all about, you can check out their Instagram page, where they're always uploading new content on things that they're working on. I'll leave a link in the description below, or if you have any questions about what you've seen in today's episode, or maybe you're looking for a rental quote, feel free to reach out to them at www.m2studio.tv. But sadly, that is all that I have for you guys today. If you liked today's episode, please let me know in the comment section below. You can also follow me on my Twitter. Don't forget I have a website now. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We'll see you next time right here on Grip Tips. It's so much.
That was awesome.
That was cool.
That was awesome.
I can hang more laundry now.
Yeah. Not just one
great.
pair of shorts at a
Yeah,
time, huh?
three,
That's great.
three.
That's great. You know, but Dave is so, I think, atypical of a young person in the business today. He lives in Detroit, right? He does stand-up comedy.
Wow.
He does little acting, but also is a grip gaffer and working within the industry there.
Wow.
At the same time, lives with his girlfriend and her 2-year-old son.
Very cool.
And, you know, that kind of time demand and pressure that you've got, that's somebody in Detroit. That's not somebody out here or New York where you think it would even be, well, it probably is a little worse, you know, in the fact that you have the distances and the traffic and everything, which they have back there.
Sure.
But, you know, it is so difficult to get some traction. And just as he says it, this is why I'm so amazed at the fantastic job he does with those pieces, is because it is so hard to carve time out now. It is, I find that, and you know what, before I go any further, let me just tell everybody right now, and I'm going to say this later in the show too, I do have an event coming up at Sammy's Camera later this month with some very awesome people at Sammy's Camera. And we'll have more information on that coming out. I don't think the whole information has been released, so I don't want to say times and dates and all that stuff. But you'll hear more about it at Sammy's Camera at the end of this month. I'll be there giving a demonstration on some lighting techniques using Airy products.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, and a whole new system that they have for the small what I call it, office studio. So in your corporate office, there's so many things going out these days that people want to do in their company, and they want to get it right out. They don't want to send it through the PR, PR of course, but not the agency and all that stuff. Immediate social media to their clients. So yeah, this is all very exciting stuff.
Very cool.
But hence, back to that, I had a meeting up this week on that. So that's one day out of the thing.
Oh yeah.
Scheduling your time. That's what I want to talk about. And how do you, I don't know, get some more of it? You know, here's the thing I'm always torn by. What do I let go? What opportunity is there I let it go because it's not important? Now, I do make that decision. What I don't like is having it, because I didn't have enough time to put it on it anyway in the first place, I lose it.
Right.
And I did not prioritize correctly.
That's the deal. You know, production is like a dam.
Oh.
And when production, happenings are going on constantly throughout the day. There's little holes in the dam.
Sure.
And you're going to put your hand here, foot here, foot here.
Yep.
What I try to do is just nip it in the bud as soon as I can. Just stay on it until it closes the hole. Because if you don't watch it, that hole's going to get bigger and bigger.
Wow.
That's the way I try to maneuver and manage life situations.
That's
Absolutely.
a very good point. That's in line with my thing, and this is where if I'm buttonholed in a meeting for a couple of hours or something always happens to me, I start getting the emails built up.
Oh, yes.
And for me, when I get an email or somebody wants information from me, my gut instinct reaction is to immediately answer it.
Of course.
Because I want it off my plate.
Absolutely.
I don't want it there festering for another 5 minutes and the person sends me another one and it's another question or another. So I really, really try to get that off my plate as soon as I can. Another thing that I do to help my time management, there's things I don't mind doing.
Right.
There's things I like to do. And there's things I hate to do.
Absolutely.
And they don't have to even come in a particular form.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
It can be just something, I hate that. Now, I've got myself trained. I do the things I hate first.
Yes.
I pick them out. I get them off the table because I know I will find every excuse in the world
push it
to
aside.
not go back to
Push it aside,
So if it's something I don't want to do, that's front and center. I do it.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. And I know that some problems or situations can't be handled all in one space.
Right.
It might have to be dragged out. But one thing that's really helped me out too is that you've built a circle of your close associates and your friends. Sometimes I sort of pawn it off. If they were on the shoot and they know more of what happened that day and what to relieve, I push them and say, hey, keep the information flowing to the client.
Yep.
Let them know we're working on it,
Right.
and we'll get back to them as soon as possible.
Right.
So
right,
I do that also.
That, Gary, is a very, very, very good point. Because I've got, myself, Connie Movius. She is my office manager back at the office. Total, I don't know what I would do if I didn't have Connie. Seriously.
Sure.
She is she knows my business. She knows me. Everything is covered. And, the business could not function without her.
Yeah.
Connie is very good about getting on it. And this is one thing that I did with Connie, too, because there were times, I think last week, where I didn't answer an email and then had the conversation with a person later on that says, I sent you that, you never sent it back. I missed not even sending it back. So it was that bad of a miss. I didn't even know I didn't. You know what I mean?
I got a question. Do your emails get forwarded to Connie? Like if the emails?
Yeah, let me tell you how that works.
I want to
see. Let me tell you how that works. I have her back at the office on a computer. All my emails, she sees all my emails coming in. And then I get
at the
them
same
on my
time?
phone. At the same time.
Okay, great.
At the same time. I assume.
Right.
My phone may be a little slower.
Oh,
I don't know.
nanoseconds.
I don't know. Yeah, probably. But so she sees those. Now, she usually makes the assumption that I am answering, and she is usually right. Okay. That is 99%, 95% of the time.
So if you answer an email, can't she see your answer?
Yes, because of the way we've got it set up, because it actually sends my answer to another email, which will pop up on her screen.
Very nice. Okay, that's cool.
So that's a great advantage.
Sure.
She can see the answer. She knows what action to take there. That's great.
Absolutely.
But what we've come up with now is if I have not responded to an email that concerns work,
within a certain time
within
frame?
15, 20 minutes, and I have not, she'll text me. She goes, did you see the email that? Now, that'll do one of two things. Either if I didn't see it, and there's been twice since we did this that I had not seen it, or she says, here's what you've got to do. Boom, I'll do that. Or I say back to her, let them give them that information. I let her do that.
I gotcha.
So there's several ways that we attack it and stuff, and then it's much better. But it's just that heads up. But at the same time, I'm driving. I'm on set doing something. You know what I mean? You can't.
Your phone's on vibe
the phone's
or nothing,
on vibe,
you know, or airplane
yeah,
mode.
or airplane mode, yeah. And so you do all of that and try to catch up. But I think the other side of this, and I think the other thing, those are things that you have no control over.
Right,
Right.
of course.
That's business flow. That's
Sure.
workflow. You know, going through there. There's also a separate side of this that I create for my own self. Number one, I've got a business that is going bonkers out there right now and is very busy and
Yes.
very good, and I'm just thrilled to death with that. You know, they're picking up the
Yeah,
garbage.
they're
on
picking
time.
up the garbage.
That's good.
Is that your van being
We're
towed,
the
Bernie?
only media company. We're the only media show on TV that's got the
garage.
truck.
He's
right,
waving
driving
goodbye.
down. Yeah, bye. Good,
Bye.
thanks.
See ya.
You know, I kind of lost my place there, but
You know the one point. You know, I had a story.
Yeah.
Similar to what you had, and I don't have any backing. I don't have a
yeah.
Connie.
You know what?
You
Let
know?
me. I
Oh,
just
okay,
remembered-
no,
let
thank
me just
goodness.
pick up on it. Thanks, Gary. Thank you. But my problem is I commit myself too much. I cannot commit myself as much as I'm committing. Look what I do. I got this great business over here. You know what I mean? It's going gangbusters. Like I said, I love it and everything like that. Of course, that's not good enough for me. I've got to start the Applebox network too, right? And now I've got Tony and Sean.
Sure.
They're running that, and of course, what is it? I'm tight on time. I don't have enough resources to give to them of myself that will build this. Now it's building, but
Sure.
it's a slow build. I'd
course.
like to see a little more in it, but that's what you do. But at the same time, I say that I don't know how you get ahead in this world
Yeah, it's
unless
really
you
tough.
take on almost more than you can handle and then try to juggle it.
Yeah, you have to make a clone of yourself at the end of the day.
Pretty much, and everybody I talk to even the people that just with one business or whatever, they're inundated with emails, phone calls, text, all of that. Everybody wants it now. You got to get it off your desk. You know what I mean? There's other people with a couple businesses like mine that are just like, that's what you have to do, and they're all buried.
Absolutely, because once you get a client on board and you sign the contract, hey, you know, I need you 3 days with your grip truck. Now at that point, they own you. You know, they take ownership of your time.
Right? No,
And you have
they
to
absolutely
you have
own
to
you.
you have to
They
put out.
absolutely
You're
own you.
going to have to put out time
Yeah.
to them.
Yeah.
And a lot of clients need to be handheld. You know, all through the whole process. Some more, some less.
Some less.
So
yeah,
you can have to
yeah.
deal with all
and
of
you
that.
know what? They should be. That's the thing that I come back to myself. These people are looking up. They could be in production for 20 years. They may not, you know, they're not comfortable with making all the lighting decisions or DP. He wants to converse with somebody that speaks his own language,
Absolutely.
right? So they want to talk to you, and they should talk to you. That should be something that they could feel free doing and comfortable doing.
Absolutely.
And I try very hard not to convey this, but when you're really busy and stuff, and you're on the phone with them, you don't want to rush them. You know, you want to take the time and have a little personal conversation there too, a little back and forth, you know, and you've got to do it. I just think money is tight these days. There's not a lot, and if you want to, I mean, kind of sell everything before you build it, you can take on partners, but I don't want to do that, you know. You have to just manage it one step at a time. And after that all being said, I'm married.
Right.
Where's my wife?
Oh yeah,
Where's
there's
my
that other
wife?
little slice of the pie.
Yeah.
Also,
You know?
and here's a thought is when somebody talks to you over the phone.
Yeah.
And you say blah blah blah, and you give your answer. It's pretty much go, come
Yeah,
and go,
back and forth,
back and
back
forth.
and forth,
An
yeah.
email comes in. How long do you wait a person? How long do you make them wait for your response? And a text. Where's that time
I wished
where
I
you're
knew that.
ignoring them? You know, or
I wished I knew that.
That's the question of all time.
I will tell you a story that I didn't want to tell. On the show.
Tell all.
Okay, but it happened this week, and I
yeah.
think it says, Oh, and by the way, let me just say before I do this, please, any thoughts on time management, any tips,
Yes,
techniques,
yes.
give it to us. Give it to us. Any questions you have about anything,
Yes.
let us know.
Absolutely.
But here's what happened. An incredibly busy week last week. Not this last week has not been that bad, but the week before was insane. And I mean, it's one of those days where I am just getting a lot of
Pounded.
emails in all the time. And of course, that mode freaks me out. And so I'm going, answer everything right now. Make the estimates all right now as they come in. Sit down, pull over in the car, do whatever you have to. And I do that a lot.
Oh, yeah.
You know, make that estimate, get it back to the client. So, and this is what I was talking about not checking in as well. So I send that estimate. Fine, we're there. I've got 3 to 5 other things on the book that
On the
day.
book.
You know what I mean? I'm taking care
Got
of
to
it.
address. Sure.
Next day is super busy. Everything's going. Now I've gone into the weekend, and now it's a 3-day weekend too, which
yes.
throws you off, and you have that fantasy that you're somehow
Yeah,
going to
that
sit
pause
there
button.
reading the paper for 3 days.
Yeah, going,
or watching
whoa.
yeah, you know, not even close. And so I get up. So Tuesday comes along, and it was probably, should have called on the holiday, called it Monday. But Tuesday comes along, and I talk to the lady, and I go, are we all good for next Thursday for your shoot? She goes, oh, I never heard back from you. I booked somebody else. Now, I gave her, and of course I freak, you know, I'm panicky, and I go, you know,
boy.
but I gave her an estimate, you know,
Yep.
everything. She goes, let me see. Oh, sorry, it went in my junk mail. You know what I mean? What are you going to do? And I come back to this. That is my fault. Because as soon as I gave her that estimate, I should have been the type of proprietor
Yes.
to my customer
Yeah.
that I just sent you the estimate. Please review it and send this in a text message or a phone message or something. Please review it. Get back to me if we need to make any changes or adjustments.
That and not to bother them too much.
Right.
But have you received
Have you received? Let
the
me
estimate?
know.
Please let me know if you received,
Yeah.
if you have any questions. But
Right.
the key point, did you receive?
Yeah,
The
here's the
estimate.
thing. You're following up. I've taken action to give you this information. The ball's in your court.
Yep.
Please let me know. And that's polite. It's the way business should
Yeah,
be. But what did
absolutely.
she get from me? All she had was an email to me, a phone conversation that said I'd get something back to her,
Right.
and I never did.
You know what that's like, Bernie? That's like casting your line, your bait, boom, into the water, and that fish swam right by.
Right by.
And
even
all
look.
it was the tail. That's
Didn't
all
even-
you saw
and
was the
you
tail.
never knew you lost it.
Yep, and it was just
Yeah.
still floating out
Yeah,
there.
Yeah. So, how about you guys? What do you guys got for time management? What? Give me a tip, because I know you guys go through it too. You know, Sean, you're always doing 5 or 6 things at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to manage, but you know, you gotta prioritize what's really gonna give you the most out of it.
Yeah.
And just the economics, you know. You're
Yeah.
spending all this time and work and it's stressing you out and you start hating your job and your life. It's not gonna do you any good.
Yeah, no, it does, and I think that's the worst part of it too, is the stress factor. You know what I mean? Where you're just you are feeling like you're not doing a very good job. You know, you're letting people down. All of that. You know, I don't know. How about you, Tony? What are your I know you're always running around crazy. I know that we all are.
Yeah, well, you know, as a freelancer, when you're working for 2, 3, 4 different outlets sometimes,
Yes.
Yeah, it can get not only confusing, but yeah, you can sometimes forget things.
Yeah.
So I will tend to break up my day and usually schedule things depending on when due dates.
Okay.
Try to get the most important things done, you know, first, or break a day in half. Say I'm going to work on this project for 4 hours or 2 hours, and then devote the rest of the day to this project.
Right.
So,
Right.
But to Gary's point, though, I had a producer literally call me 5 minutes before the show went on. But you know, you're talking about, you know, how long do you take to get back to that
Yes.
person? I literally just got on, slipped her a quick text and said,
Yeah.
"Hey, I'm busy.
There you go.
I'll get back to you in a couple of hours." At least
Yeah.
that way you've acknowledged
Yes.
and let them know, "Hey, I got your message." And
Yeah.
you know, we'll
Yes,
talk.
received.
Because
You know,
if I don't, sometimes I'll forget.
Yes.
Like, oh, they called.
Yes.
Yeah, always buy yourself time.
You can always buy
Yeah.
yourself a little time.
little
Yeah,
time.
that's for
what
sure.
you should invest
That's
in
for
logistics.
sure. Yeah.
And
yeah.
remember, you know, we're all in different age groups. You and I are at the same age, and
Yeah.
then, but you got Sean. He's a young guy, single.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of things
Yeah.
on his plate. You know, to get around social activities.
Yeah.
You know,
Nicely
Tony
put.
married, kind of deal.
We have a question or a comment. Oh, somebody's watching. And I'm not actually sure where he posted. We share this thing so much. I'm not really sure where this question is coming from. He's a new guy, Cody Coker.
Cody, I know Cody.
Yeah.
Hey, Cody, how you doing, brother?
All right. But he says you should talk a little about burnout, juggling projects, emails, phone calls. What do you enjoy, and how do you aggressively implement personal time?
It's a good one.
Oh, I like that. I'm going to
question.
have you repeat that somewhere later.
Yeah.
Burnout.
Oh, oh.
You know what? We both suffered from burnout. I'll tell you what. That's probably the most important thing to identify because it will
Absolutely.
kill your career.
Oh yeah.
That's not
instantly.
just a slowdown. That's not losing a client. Burnout will kill your career.
I call burnout an anchor in your career because that will definitely drag you down if you let it. If you
Yes.
let it. I mean, you know, there's a lot of things going on in this world that can really pull you down and you know, take too much time out of your critical time that you've got to contact new clients and, you know, and to progress, you know,
Right.
in this business. So
Right.
yeah, trust me, I'm one of those guys, you know, I feel the burnout because after a while, you know, a shoot is interview, B-roll
Right.
kind of deal. And,
Right.
you know, of course, it's all going to start mushing together.
Right.
And
Right.
I had that when I was mixing sound.
Yeah.
You know, all I heard was in my headsets for 25 years, blah, blah, blah,
It
blah,
was
blah, blah,
white
blah, blah,
noise
blah,
after
white
a while.
noise.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
you know, I'm just watching the level going back and forth and
Yeah.
2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, everything goes by and sun goes up, sun goes down. So
Yeah.
I get it. I
Yeah,
get it.
no. I think with burnout, you know, here's my thing with burnout. And I'm going to have Tony repeat that question here a little bit, but let me just speak to this. We in this industry are conditioned and trained to please the client. And that's whether you're selling gear, you're renting gear, you're working on the stuff. You know, at some point you have to stop and look at yourself and become an advocate for yourself. What would you say to somebody if they were you and you were the other person and they're asking for advice?
Absolutely.
You've got to say, first of all, sit down, decide the first 3 most important things in your life.
Right.
Right? So you know, family,
Sure.
work,
Yep.
you know, future opportunity.
And health.
Your
health.
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 Maybe that's why I've had a heart operation.
Oops.
Health.
Health. Key.
So yeah.
Key.
So you've got to say, what affects that? Without my family, without my occupation, without my health, what is going to happen to the big picture?
That's right.
And you have to look at that and say, look, I have a certain amount of family time that I know, and that's not just like work,
Right.
but that's like something you're with all the time.
Sure.
They're always on your mind. I've got to do that. There's a certain amount of time that I need to devote to work. And now that's a bigger amount of time because you're probably going to go out on set for 10 hours a day at minimum. You know, you're going to have to be networking and doing social media to promote yourself and your ability to work. You know what I mean?
I agree.
All of that stuff is going to have an effect on your time.
Yeah,
You know,
where burnout can catch you is if a client calls you or emails, texts you, whatever it is, you're on stage. You're back on stage, and you better bring that energy, that because you got to imagine their world.
Oh.
They're sitting behind a desk. It's just it's just boring. Whatever their corporate life is, they want some energy in their life.
Right.
And when they call you, You got, hi, how's it going? Da da da. You bring that energy level up, and don't let that burnout catch you, because that's how you lose work.
Right. It is. It is. So, yeah, I would say, what do we got, Tony?
We got something else here.
Oh,
dude.
hey.
Angelique Costanza, who's a regular
Angelique.
viewer of our show.
Angelique. Thank you.
She actually kind of had a question, probably for people who are watching, but anyone use a booking calendar or software for tracking workload?
Wow, I would love that. Let's hear that. Anybody have one of those? I need one.
I need one.
I got the calendar on my phone. That's what I found.
I hate to say it. I'd say, back in the old days before this guy came around, we had a calendar either on your desk or up on the wall. That's how you knew what was going on in your life, in your production life. And of course, when the phones came along, everybody got rid of that.
Right.
Well, I went back to it. I just so constantly
You've got it. Oh, yeah, I've got one too in my office.
You gotta
and
go back
have
to
that.
it. You have to, because this thing, it isn't in your face all the time.
No.
It's in your pocket.
Yeah.
So it's
And
good
you're
to,
doing
it's
a
good
lot
to
of
refer
different
to
things
it.
with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good to refer to it,
Yeah.
of course. But when I'm in my office and somebody calls and somebody says, hey, are you available, blah, 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 instantly I can look up at my schedule board and go, yeah, I'm available, instead of fumbling through the phone trying to figure out what's what.
Right.
And I'm real specific inside that date, going, I'm booked 7 a.m. to 7, just get
where you put the
detailed up.
times down.
Yeah,
even a little
unfortunately,
equivalent,
we got to go old school, back to the old school.
Well, you know what? That's what Connie and I call the Rosetta Stone.
Ah.
Because she is there, and I have her because she's got all of the work orders. She's got all of the emails. She's the one that confirms. This is the day. This is the day.
Yes.
This is what you need. This is who we have on board. Everything is like, so that's a Rosetta Stone. I set my calendar to it and put alarms in.
Yes.
So I get a 9 a.m. alarm on the day of, or I
Yes.
get a day before I get a 9
before.
a.m., or something like that. So I'm constantly, especially for pickups and stuff like that, because that's the other thing. It's not all jobs. It's pickups, it's takebacks, it's all of those things that you have to do to stay on top of it.
And we definitely, we have a calendar in our head. Oh, yeah, I'm booked next Tuesday. You put it in your head, it's in there.
Yeah.
But
Believe me,
I've
dude,
tried to rely on
there is
that, and twice now I woke up in the morning going, what's today look like? Oh my goodness, I had a gig this morning. So you got to set those alarms. You gotta let yourself know, because your brain is a computer.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, your brain, you got to have a fail-safe.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We got something there, Tony?
Yeah, William Primrose.
William Primrose. Hello, William.
Chiming
Hello.
in.
Excellent.
In Canada, we have 30-hour days, which are great compared to your 24 hours. Nice.
I need 6 more hours. That's my mistake.
Right?
Is there an A in there somewhere?
I'm on Canadian time from now
Yes.
Well, they started rental day at 4 a.m., carries a foam mattress in his truck for naps.
Yeah.
Burnout comes when you're not sleeping at least 7 hours a day. So
Yes.
they'll go 14 days and then take a 3 days off to rest.
Wow. I want your problems.
Right?
You know what? William brings up a very good point, and that is you really need to stop and take 7 hours rest.
No
and
kidding.
I know we don't always get it, but you can't go more than 2 days or a day by doing that. It's so dangerous. And so many people, you know what? There's everybody watching this, I'll bet, has a story about almost falling asleep in the car. And you know what? When it doesn't work out, you only got one of those.
Oh, you only got one.
You only
You
got
only
one of
got
those.
one.
Yeah, that's why you never hear about the story of it never working out.
Yeah.
Those people are dead, and you'll kill yourself. What will your family do? What will your family, your
Everything.
occupation, your
There's
clients,
nobody there to
everything.
back you up
No.
except for yourself.
No, you've got to be an advocate for yourself.
And Sean, what's my saying, Sean? When I was going, great guns in this business, sleep is for the. Yeah, that was my saying.
That's not true.
That's not true.
Yeah,
But I used to tell myself that.
Right. Well, you get into it and you do it. I mean, like a couple weeks ago, I was out there at Thermal. We were doing, you know, it was 105 degrees. Now, it was a reasonable amount of hours. You know, it was probably from the start to the end, like walking out of the hotel and coming back to the hotel, probably 12 hours.
Sure, absolutely.
But it was draining. And that 12 hours on top of that, now you've got to go somewhere and eat. And that's going to be another hour. So now you're using 13, 14 hours of your day up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You need to get back and go to sleep. You know?
Yeah.
And
You need the recharge.
you need the recharge. And 7 hours is now the minimum.
And that goes back to the health part of your life.
Right.
Is that when you're on set, you're on production, and you're under the gun to get that shot taken
Right.
care of. What kind of food are you eating? Crafty? You're eating crafty?
You're eating
just
horrible.
going
You
horrible
could be the
food.
best crafty in the world.
Right.
You're still eating. It's not good.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when you have the time off, you can't be in that mentality kind of deal. You got to take care of yourself. You got to exercise, got to eat right, and you got to sleep right.
Right. I think we got another one in. What's going on, guys?
We do actually. Apparently, we've struck a chord here with the viewers today,
Wow.
which is great. Kevin Clark mentions
Kevin.
he still carries the book for reference when talking to clients because it doesn't break when you drop it, which I love. But our good friend Austin Sabato has brought some up, which is kind of cool. Actually, a question: as a freelancer, time management is vital for success. Is there an experience or story you can tell us where you had to decide how or what to prioritize first versus trying to multitask and get many things done at once?
Wow, that's. You know what? I'm going to ask you to read the question again to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as a freelancer, time management is a vital success. Is there an experience or story you can tell us where you had to decide how or what to prioritize first?
Yes.
Versus trying to get everything done, at once.
Yes. I do have a story like that, but it's maybe a little larger in scope.
Yeah, and mine's a quickie.
Go.
That was my divorce. Just Danielle, if you're watching, sorry about that. Anyways.
Well, but you bring up
time management of family.
Course. Yeah, time management of family.
Back
Exactly.
then, but the business was going bonkers.
Yeah.
And forgot to give the family.
Well,
time.
and even if you don't forget,
Gary's
the
good Gary,
good
Gary,
time.
the good Gary.
Yeah.
Because remember I told you about being on stage.
Yeah.
As soon as a client, you drop everything, especially even with your family. You're with
Right.
having a great time, camping,
Right.
vacation. All of a sudden, everything stops. Got to take the client.
Yeah.
So that's where the rubber hit the road in my life.
No, that's
prioritizing the time.
That's a very good point, because the good Gary.
Yes.
I think the same thing about me. I've spent my day, to overstate it, being charming to everybody,
Yes.
right? And I get home, I'm burnt out, I'm tired. I've probably been on the phone with somebody in the car, which I'm not supposed to be,
Right.
talking on the way home. And all of a sudden, I tromp up my stairs, and there I am with a beautiful view of Laguna Beach, and I'm coming in home. My wife's there, and I'll paraphrase what I say when I walk in the door. Oh crap! And there's my beautiful wife, who is an absolute angel by anybody's standards. Don't take it from me. Everybody loves my wife.
Oh, yes.
I think, is this what she gets when I walk in the house? Is that her first? Like everybody else gets the good Burnie,
Right.
and now she gets the old crap Burnie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Here's all my trash for the day.
I'm tired. Oh, no, not now. No, I don't have to do that. You didn't say that.
Classic.
I mean, that is the horrible thing. That is the horrible thing. And there's been more than one time where I've said to my wife, I'm sorry.
Of course.
I'm sorry. Here it is. I'm coming home. Prioritizing the family, you can never do enough.
Right.
You can't prioritize that enough. And I'll tell you, Gary had the experience. I pray to God I never had the experience, but you know what I mean? It's not an easy life we live.
No.
What are you going to do when you lose your family? What are you really going to do when you lose the family? The work isn't going to be that gratifying.
No,
I can
no,
tell you that. You have to prioritize and make it right. But to Austin's question, I did have something that I had to make a choice on and do and let go of. I had started, in my living down here in Orange County, we always have to run up to LA to grab stuff and do this. And I thought, what a great business to have for all my friends and everybody I know that has to go up there. It all started delivery service that can go up and pick up dollies, that can go do this, go do that, and stuff like that. Of course, I'm not a delivery business guy, so I want to be associated with a delivery business. Well, I spent a lot of time and money building that up. You know what I mean? Or constructing it, making the deal and all this. That is the type of business you need to be on 150%. It's not a side business. It's not a quickie. There is no side businesses. Anything you do, you need to be 100% involved in.
Right.
It's not going to work at 95%. It's just, you got to be there. So I went through it, and I ultimately turned this over to the delivery company that was doing it, and ultimately it failed.
Yeah.
The reason I had to turn it away and do it is I realized that there's not two of me.
Right.
There's one of me. And my brain, my physical locality, and frankly, what's making me money is one thing, and I've got to focus on that. So I strongly advise that if there is something in your life that is doing that to you, you probably haven't stopped and thought what is more important, and it's the time to do that. And there's still going to be times where you're inundated and very busy, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Absolutely. I remember the good old days when things were really busy, and then I'd get home after 10, 12 hours, and all of a sudden, somebody needs a tripod now. Somebody needs this. And I used to come home, and I used to grab my daughter Danielle for carpool bait. Daddy, where are we going? Oh, we're just going to get an ice cream.
Danielle, he owes you money to this day. He owes you money.
I'll be paying for the rest of my life, trust me. But Kevin, brings up a good point about going old school with the little book in the back of his pocket.
Boy, that's a great idea.
I used to laugh so much at a good friend, and I'm sorry, Phil Weiner. But I remember him. He always had that little book in his back pocket. Client would call in, he'd write it down, because sometimes he didn't have enough time to put it into his phone.
Exactly.
And go, I'll just do it after the shoot. Well, sometimes that slips. But it's sure enough, like, put in the date real quick, back in your pocket, you're ready to go.
Yes, and backup too, because he's backing up, and he's saying, like, I'll go to my backup and check. Oh, for sure, I didn't put that in my phone.
Absolutely. So Kevin, great idea. Good one. Very good.
Tony, we got somebody?
We have a couple of things. We have a new viewer, Dewey Evans.
Dewey, my
friend.
Dewey.
Thanks for joining us. Hope you're enjoying the show.
I know Dewey did a live thing today too. I saw his video. He did something awesome. Dewey, thanks.
Yeah, your wife says hi with a little heart.
Oh, thanks. Oh, good. She still loves me. Yes, I hope you heard the part where I told you I'm sorry about what I did.
Oh, that part.
My wife, let me just take this moment. Since it's my show, I'm going to take this moment.
Good.
My wife is truly an angel. I mean that.
I agree. I agree.
She is a true angel. Look, I was 62 when I was married for the first time. You don't make that decision at 62.
You didn't learn from me, Burnie? You didn't learn from my mistakes?
I wrote everything.
That was the only thing you didn't learn.
I swear, but my wife is a sweetheart, and I could not be in this business or successful without her. There is no doubt in my mind.
No doubt. You have to have a backbone in this business, and that backbone is family.
Yeah, that's family.
Yeah. Without a spine, you got nothing.
That's right. So did we have a question from Dewey? Did he?
No, I just said hello. It's first time watching.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Likes to rest on the right side of his dashboard.
Yeah, awesome.
Shoots, I know.
Awesome. I think his video was in the car today too. That's what I saw.
Hey, and Sean, what's the number one question? Are you married?
Yeah.
That's just a joke between Sean and I.
All right.
Angelique does have a comment, and you might be able to talk to this. This might actually be a good lead-in. But She actually says that she once she books a shoot, she will. It's solid, and she want to book it, but she will also book her personal time as well. So
You know what? I think that's excellent. I
Yeah.
really like that
Wow,
idea.
wow.
I really like that idea. Exactly. Make an appointment for yourself, Angelique. That is awesome.
And for your family, too.
And for your family. For your
That's
family.
right.
Anything you're doing personally.
I'd have
You know?
50% of my stuff back by now.
Oops. But you know what? That is a great, great idea. In fact, it brought up that the subject now on the work side of that. You know what I mean? I started thinking about making appointments for everything I do. Like if I say, oh, we should shoot on Wednesday or go do something for Applebox, that turns into an actual appointment in the
okay.
calendar.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So because I think there's not enough of that. I think you do need to make appointments and you need to put an end on something. In other words, this starts at 1, but I'm not going past 2.
Right.
Right? When you
Right.
do it. You know.
Right.
So then you take that off the plate and boom, put it down.
Yeah, you know, the one thing I was, you know, when I was super busy with production and, you know, getting gear around town, getting crew around town, I would always think to myself, yeah, you know what, I'll just load the van in the morning. And I found out that's a no-go. Because you're not
No
thinking
way.
straight in the morning.
No
All
way.
you're thinking about hitting that freeway.
You wanna
So
get out.
You want to schedule time,
Yeah.
either the prior day or that night,
Yeah.
to get it all loaded. And trust me, that sleep deal,
Yeah.
you'll have a restful night.
You'll have a restful night
Otherwise,
because you won't be
let me tell you
thinking.
what happens.
Yeah.
You're counting C-stands instead of sheep. Oh, a C-stand, a C-47. That's what I do all night long.
Yes, yes. You know, my rule for that is 48 hours, and this is why I do it. And because it's a bigger deal to me. You know what I mean? I mean, about getting all that gear out. There's so much more
like that,
gear.
Tony, huh?
You know, so much more gear that if I don't set and say that's up in 48 hours, in other words, that gives me a day before the job, I know the truck is packed. Because how many times have you gone out there and go, I know that 20 by was right here.
Yeah.
Where did it go?
Or that
Where did
apple box, those
that
two
where's
apple boxes, the two
boxes?
missing apple
Yeah,
boxes.
Yeah, where did they go? That has happened to me so many times, dude, that you won't believe it. And I know if I've got it 24, then I still have a drop dead. I can run up to LA and grab
Yes.
something if I need
Yes.
it. But that's important, you know, and that's crucial. And also, I know if there's any things that I need to tell the guys about who are going to be out on that job early, I can include that.
Yes,
you
yes.
know.
You know, and a good thing with the client too, you know, the laundry list comes of all the gear they want. Either the DP, the client, who's
Yeah.
ever hiring you. And it's, you know, to me, it's always a good 24 hours, 40 hours ahead going, listen, I'm packing all your gear, I'm getting your packs together. I'm going to send your list back to you and say, do you want to add anything else while I'm packing?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's a simple one
Yes,
for you.
yes,
You know,
yes.
at least it shows the client, wow, he's working 2 days ahead of my shoot.
Right.
You
Right.
know, so that yeah,
And then
that's awesome.
I don't maybe specifically do that, but that's a very good idea to tell them exactly what you're doing. But I will contact them why I'm doing it just to confirm here's what's on
Yes,
the truck.
yes.
And they get that idea that you're on it, you're thinking about their job. and everything
Absolutely,
like that,
absolutely. And you know, when you do go out on shoots, Bernie, do you pack extra gear? Like they say, oh, I need one M18. But you throw, if the M18's sitting at your shop, do you throw another one on board? And they go, only if we had another M18. Do you do that kind of thing, Bernie?
Not normally.
Right.
But I have done it. But here's what I will do. Obviously, for any light that goes out, you get a spare bulb. So
Oh,
there's
yes.
a burnout
Oh,
and all
yeah.
that. I have done it sometimes on a larger truck. When I put it out, I'll put one extra M18, even if they've ordered one, because I do know occasionally they'll do it, but I don't do it as a habit. You know, I just do it per job of what I feel like might happen or
Yeah.
whatever. The reason I don't do it, is one is they did not order it.
Oh, of course.
And I want them to know that.
Right.
You know what I mean? The other thing is, if the thing gets damaged or hurt out in the field, there's no recourse for me. They go, wait, we were using our HMI and it worked fine.
Exactly.
If it's damaged because a guy opened the door and it falls out.
Oh, of course.
You know,
Of course.
just that simple. You know, is then it's more, there is more stuff, and plus space, because a lot of the shoots, even when I'm putting a 3-ton truck out, I don't want it overcrowded where the guys can't work out of the truck.
I agree. I agree. See, well, I know that, I have 4 cameras, matching cameras,
Right.
and the client goes, "Oh, we just need one, just need one, just need one." But I always throw an extra camera, and the reason why is that sometimes the interviews run over, and the B-roll is happening right now.
Yeah.
And there's been occasions where the producer goes, "Oh, I need to get that, I need to get that," but right in the middle of the interview, they'll throw the camera to a PA and go, "Hey, just grab some shots,"
Right.
For me. So that has saved me in the past about bringing extra gear along.
And then you get that,
and you get that little bump. I call it the save.
Yeah.
The save. But I know in all cases,
and I have
can't
done,
be the hero.
I have done the same thing. If I've put a 1200 out there, right, I may put another one on just because in case of failure. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And-
Or
and
if they or they go, "Oh, we didn't expect. We thought it was going to be a cloudy day." Or what have you. And if we just had that second oomph.
I will negotiate. Here's what I do with the extra gear and stuff, like as used. You know what I mean? I won't put everything on as used.
Sure.
I won't do that. It just like there's going to be a certain minimum
Right.
you get. I could put extra gear on as used as the agreement.
Exactly.
That's not a problem.
That was my question. Yeah.
But you're going to have to pay for a minimum. In other words, not everything is just going to be if you need it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
I just don't think
Interesting.
that's fair. I don't
Absolutely.
think that I will help to a greater degree if you
Sure.
think there's an unknown in there. But
Absolutely.
so that's how I handle
Okay.
it.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah. You know what, Gary? Too, I wanted to try something on the phone today. Are we all set up with Magewell and my phone, guys?
Yep, just got to refresh a little bit there.
Yeah. Okay.
refreshing.
All right. Oh, there I am. Oh, whoa. Not that page.
Isn't that a paid page?
Are we live right now? Are we live with the phone now, or no? We're just still on the air, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yep, whenever you're ready, we can put it up. And
All right.
talk
Let's.
about what you wanna talk about.
Yeah. Let's just go on the phone. Here's what I want to try to do. Yeah.
Ooh,
This is
yeah.
it. So this is. I wonder. That's the picture, huh? Can we make that full screen at all, or is that what we've got? Try tipping it. These kids know everything,
Oh,
don't
how
they?
dare them?
Okay.
Wow.
Hey, let me see if I can get this in the right mode. Let me go to something.
Okay.
Facebook won't tilt. This is what we're going to get.
Oh yeah, that's
Are
true.
you sure?
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, Facebook is going.
Oh, Tyler Henderson. Hey, Tyler.
See, now how long will it take the Burnie to respond to this phone?
Yeah, that's a very
There
good,
we
that's
go.
a
There
very
we go.
good question.
Wait, just have your finger over the answer button, Bernie. and go,
I can't do this. I can't answer the guy's phone. I'll give him the
there
tips.
goes the $10,000
Okay.
job.
Post a comment on the Facebook page and we'll answer.
Go to Applebox Live.
Yeah,
Yeah, go to Applebox. Ask me the question on Applebox Live. That's perfect.
Yeah, are you tuned in?
You tuned in.
Oh my gosh. Well, let me just go here. Let me just go to. Let me just cruise through here. There's my good buddy Don Blackburn's posting something. Somebody getting married here. I like this one. I like this picture. Can we go? Oh yeah, there we go.
Oh, thank goodness.
All right.
Don't go wrong with kitty pictures.
No, you can't. You can't look in it through the camera. I love that. You know, why is it this is the type of stuff I stop and look at every time? I don't even know why I do it.
I'm guilty.
I swear,
I'm
it's so
guilty.
crazy. It's so crazy.
I need the monkey. You know,
Oh,
what is it? The parrot
anything
riding
with-
the monkey.
Anything with a monkey.
Anything with a monkey. Got to
Anything
have the
with a
monkey stuff.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with monkeys.
Just got to be PC'd on that.
Oh, there's Owen Weston and his the old days. Remember
Oh,
those
wow.
cars? You remember?
Oh yeah,
that?
I had 2 of those.
Yeah.
I rented
let's
out
see.
one.
Oh,
My
there's
neighbor.
Austin Sabato. Austin, look at that, a sexy shot, man.
Ooh,
I
baby.
think the guy's making a calendar or something.
yeah.
There's another sexy shot of the guy.
How
Look,
dare
he's just casually with a little focus control.
Isn't
on
that
the camera. Yeah. Very nice, Austin. Awesome job.
He should light himself better.
But I tell you what, this is exactly what I tell the guy to do.
Yeah, well,
you know
of
what I
course,
mean?
yeah.
He's making gold right there.
Ooh, baby.
Gary V. You cannot go on any social medium without seeing Gary V
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
You know that?
Gotta have
and he is everything. This gal, Loria, is my hero. She runs Vid Summit and all that. She is a very, very knowledgeable person on live streaming. Yeah, I hope. Whoa, that was my niece, not my niece's legs, but that was my niece made the post. Here's Austin Sabato too. Let's give Austin a run here. So there he is. Looks like
Nice.
and look, he's even like straining, like he's carrying the camera. I love it. I love it. Oh, there, smile on his face now. Look, that's what is that? That's June. I'd say that's the month of June.
June, yeah, June gloom.
June gloom.
June gloom.
Yeah. Here he is. Action shot.
Yeah,
I like that.
There's that calendar
Is
shot.
I tell you, the guy's doing a great job. I love it. I love it. He's making the show today. He's making the show. Oh, and my wife posted this. It's a video.
Yeah, get home soon.
Yeah.
What was that?
Where are you?
Oh no,
it's just Empty Laguna. Where are you?
Where are you?
Where are you?
It's don't come home soon.
Yeah.
I think that's what it
Yeah.
was.
Let's see. But I did want to get into a few serious subjects here. Here's Wade Court scene snipers. They're in Atlanta. I think this is in Atlanta. They're throwing knives. That's kind of a thing. Let me
Wow.
see. Yeah, they're throwing
Wow,
knives.
that's very cool.
That's interesting. I like that. Yeah, Wade Court and those guys. Oh, they're throwing hatchets. Oh, I love it. I love it.
Wow.
And
It's the Hatchet Show.
Let's see. Dave Bungie, my good buddy, up in. Look at that. That's a wild photo. I'll try to get that up here.
Wow.
Let me get it and see if I can make it a little closer. See that? Look what's going
the
on
heck?
here. See that truck? There's a lift. It's got a box that it's lifting up, and there's a plank to the upper window, and it looks like they're carrying an 18K up there.
Bah!
That's
my
amazing.
God. Wow.
Let me just bring it out a little bit, kind of get the bigger picture.
Who's their insurance company?
Well, I don't know. I'm going to find out.
I'm gonna
though.
find out. I
That's a
want
winner.
them.
Well, maybe they're dumped by now.
Yeah,
after that
that's right.
post.
After that photo.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Oh, I think Tony's holding up 3 fingers.
Oh.
The restroom's over there, Tony.
Do we-
What's the number
do we-
3?
And here's Kevin Clark. Here's Kevin Clark. He just
Kevin.
That's what we have to do. We have to go like that. Okay. I gotta
Okay,
do it.
well,
It's
okay.
not turning
All right,
on.
I see a
Anyway,
sidewalk.
that's
Okay.
it. That's it on Kevin. Thanks. That's a nice shot. He's down in Balboa today. Day off, obviously. There's my niece Rebecca, my sweetheart. Mm-hmm. And there's storm clouds. You know, when I looked at it before the show, I was running all these posts. I'm going, oh, this would be
That's
great
cool to see on
that'd
the
be
show.
great. Then an hour goes by, and it's a whole different day.
Oh, that's right.
Let's
An
see,
hour.
that's-
5 minutes.
I did want to talk. There's Cheryl, Rebecca, and
Is that an invoice that you owe me?
no, there's no
Oh, okay.
invoices
Okay,
on this
okay.
page.
Oh,
I will
swore
assure.
that was an
So
invoice.
here's my friend Ellen Bossard. Look, the Christmas stuff is out.
No,
Can you
don't
believe
say
that?
it's not
Can
so.
you believe that?
Ah.
Man, look at
Oh,
that.
wait, look way in the back. Is that a menorah back
No,
there?
that's
Oh, no. Finally, somebody's thinking Hanukkah.
Oh my gosh, Gary. You know what? One of the funniest times I was with you. Do you remember that? We were in Laguna Beach.
Oh.
We were in Laguna Beach. It was the second day of
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah. There's a menorah in the window. And it's $75. And Gary goes, what Jew would pay $75 on the second day of Hanukkah?
It should be 20% off. We're 2 days in.
I'm telling you, I
Oh, that was great.
on downtown.
That
I
was
couldn't
great.
walk. I was
Yeah,
laughing
that
when
was
you gave
awesome.
me that line, dude.
God,
that
you
was,
still remember
that.
that.
That was
That was
hilarious.
great shtick back then.
That was
Oh, my
hilarious.
God.
We had a lot of jokes. We were a lot sharper
God.
back then.
Yeah. Oh, we were on it.
Oh, Mr. Rogers. There we
Okay,
go.
I think we
we're
have
done.
to wrap something
So are
up
we
here.
2 minutes? 2 minutes?
No, we're
into
1
it?
minute.
All
Oh,
right.
my God.
Just wanted to say, Burt Reynolds died.
Yeah.
There was a
Yeah.
thing on there. I was going to
Yeah.
say that.
I worked with
rest
him.
in
That's a
peace.
great story I'll save for next
that's
week.
good. That's good.
I got a story about that.
That's great. So I guess that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's about it. Okay, everybody, thanks a lot. And it's been a great show. Lots
Bernie,
of fun.
thanks for having me on again.
Yeah, and please stay in touch. Please share Applebox Network.
Right here.
And tell your friends about the show.
You want that.
That's it. All right. Thanks a lot. See you next Friday. Cut. That's a wrap.